I had just got done working out in my basement and was too lazy to go upstairs and use my normal shower, so I decided to use the one in the basement. As I was shampooing my hair, I heard a little girl singing outside of the bathroom door. Mind you, I was home alone. I turned the water off and called out to see if anyone was down there, and it stopped. I put the water back on and was rinsing off when it started up again, but this time it just sounded like humming. I ran upstairs with shampoo still in my hair and never used that shower again. My brother, my ex-boyfriend, and I were home alone one day, and my ex and brother were playing video games in the basement. They came back upstairs and we were all sitting on the couch talking when we heard a loud bang in the basement. My ex, of course, sent me to go check out what the noise was. When I went downstairs, all the lights were on and there was a box that had been resting securely on a table against the wall, in the middle of the floor. That same ex and I were hanging out in the basement one day watching Stand By Me, when we heard running behind us. Thinking it was my dog, my ex called out her name, but she wasn't down there at all. So we were a little spooked but kept on watching the movie. A few minutes later, I see him look behind me with a terrified expression, so I turn around and see a flesh-colored blob dart into the laundry room. We left for the night and he never went back in my basement again. I was home alone one day while my dad was working and the rest of my family was upstate. I kept hearing running up and down my basement steps and up the stairs to my grandma's part of the house. It was so loud that my dog eventually started to bark and I had to call my friend to come hang out with me. When my dad got home from work, he went in the basement and came back up right away demanding to know why the picture of Jesus was upside down. I hadn't done it, and when the rest of my family came back home they all said they did not do it either. My grandma and mom are really religious, so they would never dream of doing something like that. My cousins and I went away for the weekend 3 years ago and were staying at this little hotel by the water. I slept with one of cousins in one bed and my other cousin, her sister, slept in the other bed. In the middle of the night on our last night there, I heard a loud bang as if something had fallen, followed by a little girl laughing and footsteps. The cousin who I was sharing the bed with screamed bloody murder and shook me to see if I heard it too, which I was pretending I hadn't, and my other cousin slept through the whole thing. The next morning she told us she had a weird dream that a little girl was running around the room pushing our stuff off the table. About 2 Decembers ago, my fiancé was over my parents' house with me. My parents had gone to a Christmas party and he was helping me set up the tree and decorate the house. All the stuff is in the attic and everyone has said the attic had a strange feeling about it. So we are up in the attic and he mentions he feels like someone was watching us. I say, it's probably just the cat, as I hand him boxes. We go downstairs and we are unpacking the boxes when we heard a series of huge thuds. I say, the cat must have knocked something down, but my fiancé points out that my cat is on the couch asleep. It scared me and I go outside. At that moment, my parents pull up and my dad tells at me for being outside in the cold without a jacket. My fiancé and I tell my parents we heard something and we were officially creeped out. My mom and fiancé decide to go to the room where the attic entrance is. Lo and behold, a box that had been sitting far away from the stairs had fallen down the stairs. Then there was the time my fiancé and I were sleeping at my parents' house. We were getting comfy and slowly dozing off. All of a sudden, right in my ear, I hear a demented, creepy voice say, "Sweet dreams," and a cackle. I sit up and grab my fiancé. I asked him if he heard that and he said, "Heard what?" I tell him I heard a creepy voice in my ear tell me sweet dreams. And he was like, "Oh, I thought you meant that creepy laugh you just did." But no one was in the room with us and I didn't laugh.